I've scaled multiple businesses past seven figures because of this tiny freaking personal brand. I'm going to show you guys one of those businesses specifically in today's video, which is my marketing agency. Inside of this video, I want to show you guys how I actually came to the offer, how I started promoting the offer after I created my social media account. I'm going to show you how we evolved that offer through market sophistication, and I was able to pivot to make sure that my audience actually cares for whatever that new offer was. And then I'm going to show you guys the fulfillment and the system side of it all. So back in 2020, I started this account on Twitter. I know it's insane to even say Twitter, but there's this tiny group of an audience, about 700,000 people, called Money Twitter. And Money Twitter is a group of founders and business owners and strategists and CMOs and C-level executives, as well as beginners, who are showing the behind the scenes into their businesses transparently. And I noticed this trend, so I decided, hey, why don't I hop into the space and start pushing out some value? So in 2020, I started doing so. I created an anonymous social media account. I literally just broke that anon status about like 4 months ago, but I was anonymous, and I've been able to build this massive trust and this massive following. And I started selling different offers across that account. I created a low ticket product, and I created a marketing agency. And within about a year and a half, I was able to generate over $1 million. I thought to myself, dude, there is something clearly working here, something that I have an audience that I own, that I can bring predictable revenue with, and I actually have influence. If I were to do a product launch, I launched the SaaS and the AI space and made $250,000. I launched a few other products and made $1 million. I'm like, there is something clearly working here. Other people need to get on this. So I started talking about the behind the scenes into what it's like to own this tiny personal brand. I gave a few people some advice, and they're like, hey, I would love to pay you for this. So I said, okay. They came up to me. They said, I want to pay you $2,000-3,000. I sent out the invoice. They paid it on the spot in about March of 2022. And one of those individuals' names was Carl Weisch. Carl Weisch, if you don't know right now, is probably the biggest CRO agency owner in the bloody space. He's worked with every big name you can fathom, from Davey Fogarty, who's done hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue from his e-commerce brand, or Alex Hormozy. And it's really wicked to see that he started on Twitter fresh with our program. And this program was bare bones. And his competitor actually joined at the same time as well, too, named Dylan Ander, and both in the exact same week. And I had no real offer here. It was me just really testing the waters. And within 2 weeks of me giving the advice with tiny, tiny accounts, the first guy, or Dylan Ander, made $50,000 in 2 weeks. And then Carl Weisch was able to close $300,000 worth of deals in 90 days. And by this point, I'm like, okay, this seems like an actual winning offer here. I don't have to do something that is so saturated that everyone else in the space is doing when it comes to building a marketing agency. I had an account. I was a guinea pig. I was testing what other people weren't able to test. So I'm like, let me see if I can clean this up and make it into a more interesting offer. So I decided to structure the process. In July of 2022, I decided to structure the agency. I defined the goals, I defined the deliverables, I defined the outcome, and I was testing stuff out. Next month, in August 2022, I decided to go all in. I launched this as a brand new offer. I tested it to my audience, and I had 10 people buy a 60-day program, and I tested the price of $1,500 each, right? So I had people like Don Vesh, I had people like Jordan Ross, I had people like Doles, Dolapa. There's so many people who were on this program, and I did a very low price initially on purpose, just to see, what do people care for? And I was in Spain at the time as well too. I remember I was sitting in one of my lofts, and I pushed this offer live. I had 4 people DM me, and I sent them the Stripe link. They said paid, paid, paid. I was able to get these closes because people already trusted me at this point. I built my presence already. People knew who I was. So I did this with Jordan Ross, and he closed $150,000 worth of deals in a few months. At this point, he's added millions in revenue from Twitter because of our program. Don Vish killed it as well too on this original version of the program, and within a week, I had 10 people in my deals wanted to work with me. It's just nuts, the results people were getting. So I had to iterate. We know that there's this framework, I believe, where it's a mental model called the Red Queen effect. If you're walking in business, you're falling behind. If you're running a business, you're falling behind. You need to be constantly sprinting. So I had to sprint. I had to move fast. I had to iterate. So we added new parts of the offer. We did Done For You. We had more strategy. We added YouTube. Then we created Done With You. And I'm going to show you this evolution, because this didn't all happen overnight. And we did millions within 2 years from this actual offer. And I'm going to expand on all of these as well too. So let's talk about the evolution now. The market began to sophisticate. As things sophisticate, your duty is to pivot, or you're going to get left behind. So my next objective was to find out the next trend. Would it either be creating stuff myself? Would it either be looking at trends of what other people are doing? Well, realistically, it's both. Content styles started dying out, right? Other things that were working right when I first started this offer, they weren't working anymore. And I'm like, damn, is this the end of the agency? No, it's not. As a business person, you have to expect that things are going to change because the market is hungry for something new. That's what market sophistication is. As the market sophisticates, as the audience gets smarter, as they get more used to whatever it is of a content piece that people are producing, it is up to us to provide the newest trends of either value or entertainment to these people. So they'll come back and say, hey, you are posting the most unique style content that I can resonate with. And that's what happens throughout this entire journey. I had to constantly pivot. So I started testing new styles of content. As new trends popped up, I would test those to see if our clients' accounts would perform. I realized we needed a system of adaptation for what works, and we started creating something called protocols. This is where things get very interesting. A protocol is based off of a health check. Imagine going to the doctors and the doctor does a blood test on you and they have a full diagnosis of all of your vitals and all of your levels and all of your numbers and saying, well, over here, you're lacking on testosterone. You're doing great over here. And that's what we started doing on a weekly basis. We went into a client's account based off of 32 different factors, and we would diagnose the problem. From there, we would introduce a protocol. And now we do this on a weekly basis. This is one of our top performing systems. So from doing this for over 20 plus clients, plus 100 people in my other Done With You offer, I had the most potent data in the space. I could see what was working. I can make the trends for my own self. And that's what we started adapting and adding onto our offer on a month-to-month basis. So what did we add? Well, we started adding different understandings of what content actually is. We realize content is more than just writing a post. There's different content sources. There's different content types. There's different content objectives. There's authoritative. There's technical. There's long form. But there's 21 different types of content you can post, and it's a never-ending game of like this bank that we can always go back into and pull. Well, we need this objective. We need this content type because the client is going through this specific scenario. And this is all based off of if-then statements. If the client's account is growing but it's not getting leads, then integrate this protocol. If the client's account is getting leads but there's no growth, then integrate this protocol. We define every single possible scenario, and we're like, wow, we just mastered the art of traffic. Well, nearly. This is where we started adding more of the other stuff that we spoke about right here, which is the done for you side. So we were initially just doing the content strategy. We're creating hooks for people. And then we're like, you know what? We can also add a done for you wing into this. So we hired an operator, a full-time COO. She killed the freaking game for us, mastered the art of the systems, and she started creating full-on journeys for all of our clients. If client A came in, here's the entire journey that client's going to go through. Here's client B, the entire journey that they're going to go through. It's very custom and it's updated on a weekly basis based off the health check. From there, we added YouTube into the mix and emails into the mix. And now we created this entire traffic ecosystem. Well, traffic's cool. What happens after traffic though? There's more to this entire game than traffic. Traffic does not equal leads, and leads need to bring in those new closed deals. That's what people cared about. So since we mastered the traffic side, let's start getting better lead flow. So if we identify that we know how to get people the greatest quality follower in a click, then the next logical step is when they click, they need to go to the greatest quality landing page and funnel. So then now we started throwing in custom funnels. We did this for an SEO agency named SEO Kival. He got 3,000 emails on his custom funnel through the hype campaign that we created for him that signed up to his email list, and then he got booked up for 90 days in advance. We're on to something. It's freaking working. But funnels started to change. People started to copy us. The market started sophisticating. I started getting pissed off. Dude, this funnel is not working anymore. What now? So we started figuring out new funnels. Now we have a bank of multiple different funnels based off of multiple different scenarios that we can always refer to, saying, okay, if a client is launching an info product, we use this funnel. If the client is an agency owner that wants more leads, we integrate one of these 5 funnels. And now we mastered this art. So now what? It's all about scaling. The scaling side comes from more traffic. And where does that more traffic come in from? That's YouTube and LinkedIn. And I'm going to discuss what we did here. We started bringing more and more of this extra traffic, and we started leading these people into an email list. So we got the clients to be very efficient here. They can't record YouTube and post content and do all this stuff all the time. They're running multiple 7-figure businesses. I have clients right now who are doing multi 6 figures a year, 7 figures, 8 figures, and 9 figures a year. And all of these big people, they have to focus on the internal. So I'm like, dude, Why don't we give you the topic? Why don't we tell you what to record? Why don't we give you the full ideas, every detail of what you need to do? You record the video, we edit it, we give you the thumbnail, we post it on YouTube for you. And then from there, post it on Twitter. From there, we'll transcribe that, make it into a thread, and we'll make that into an email for you. Boom. The matrix was freaking complete. We called it the traffic and acquisition matrix. That was the evolution of the offer. Then the fulfillment side is the same for basically almost all my offers. We created a do-it-yourself variation, a done-with-you variation, and a done-for-you. The do-it-yourself is a cohort where I literally give you a checklist of everything we would follow internally, but you do it yourself as a one-time payment for 90 days. Then a done-with-you version where we're in the mix with you, giving you the content strategy, we're updating the strategy, but you're writing some content, we're writing some content. And then there's the done for you variation where we just do it all. And they're all the same 90-day journey. It's just a matter of who's in charge of the actual journey and what we're charging for the actual pricing. So to do it yourself variation, we give you the exact SOPs and the roadmaps and every single detail inside of the 90-day cohort. We will tell you exactly what you need to do, plus throw you into a private group chat with me and my business partner when we answer any question that you have. And we do a cohort of 10 people on a monthly basis. If you want to sign up to this cohort, we have a few days left. We're going live with our next one on the 18th of April, or the 19th rather. Just click the link in the description to book a call with me. We can go ahead and chat about it. The done with you offer is we're the one creating and optimizing the actual strategies, giving you all the hooks and giving you some content. It's like this hybrid journey of you do some, we do majority of the rest. Then the done for you variation is we do the rest of it all. Then this is the direction we took it into. This is the direction where we realize, hey, we have mastered the art of traffic and acquisition. It is just a matter of showing it to the world. If you guys have any single questions about this, we are taking new people onto the do-it-yourself and the done-with-you variation. The done-for-you is completely booked out for the next couple months. If you guys want any other help for any of this, just click the link in the description, book a call, and let's chat. See you guys soon.